Thank you both, Senator Avella and Kruger. I am grateful that you've provided this opportunity for ongoing public discussion on this critical issue. I'm speaking today as the Executive Director of Grassroots Environmental Education. We have offices in Port Washington, Long Island, and Rye, New York. I'm also the co-creator of AmillionFrackingLetters.com and a visiting scholar at Adelphi University teaching in their nursing school. More importantly, I'm a mother who cares deeply about our basic human need to raise our families in communities where our water, air, and land is protected from contamination. Many of us today have raised the idea of the precautionary principle. And if you're unfamiliar, this is a principle that just simply states that when an activity raises threats of harm to human health or the environment, precautionary measures should be taken even if some cause and effect relationships are not fully established scientifically. Many decision-making bodies in countries around the world are using this precautionary principle as guidance there. But if we take this to another level, using hydrofracking for natural gas extraction as an example, we could say that when an activity raises threats of permanent harm to human health or the environment, even precautionary measures are not sufficient to protect public health. And we should seek instead, through innovation, better ways to achieve similar goals. Permanent harm may be thought of as permanent contamination of public water supplies and land with hydrofracking chemicals, or contamination through both legal and illegal disposal of used hydrofracking chemicals and the radioactive elements, brine, and toxic metals that may accompany them. Or permanent harm may be thought of as the disease or disability that gets passed down one generation to the next from an environmentally caused genetic mutation. This is the science of epigenetics, which may occur from exposure to one or more of the hydrofracking chemicals or from components of diesel exhaust that are a certainty with active drilling sites. Moving on to another point, I think we can all applaud our governor for prioritizing education and earmarking millions of dollars to improve the current system in our state. He, like many of us, knows that education is the key to success, and it's getting harder and harder to educate our youth. 1 in 6 children has a neurobehavioral disorder or learning disability, from ADD and dyslexia to autism. 1 in 88 children, and these are new statistics as of last month, nationally, and their families suffer from this heartbreaking disorder, lifelong disability, and societal problem of staggering proportion. Much attention is being directed to discovering the links between neurobehavioral problems and toxins in the environment. Many of the chemicals in hydrofracking fluids are linked to neurobehavioral problems. So we encourage our children to graduate high school and to go on to college, ultimately earning higher degrees in science, medicine, law, and other disciplines. We have an abundance of these scholars in our state. They are sprinkled throughout our communities, in our colleges and universities, our hospitals, think tanks, and research centers. It's something that New York should be proud of, and any governor who prioritizes education should be proud of as well. Hundreds of these scholars and medical doctors have felt compelled to weigh in on the debate over hydrofracking without being sought out by the governor, nor the Departments of Environmental Protection or Health. They, along with tens of thousands of others, have spoken through letters, testimony reports, and countless meetings with representatives here in Albany about the dangers of hydrofracking. Hydrogeologists really understand the vulnerability and movement of the water that lies beneath the surface. Biologists understand the loss of habitat, the destruction of ecosystems, and life that is held in the shale. Climate change scientists understand methane and the impact of burning fossil fuels. Electrical engineers understand conservation. And medical doctors and toxicologists understand the vulnerability of the human body when it encounters toxic substances, even in minute amounts, in the air it breathes and the water it drinks. They have all joined together in a historic movement to help enable our state, a national leader, to make the difficult but necessary decision not to allow hydrofracking in New York. They have drawn from their expertise the conclusion that this is a risk we cannot take, and they have shared their expertise without compensation. Certainly our governor cannot dismiss the educated opinions which he publicly admires and wants our children to aspire to and bow to the deep pockets of industry. I urge your colleagues on the other side of the aisle here in Albany to summon all of their strength of character, heed what they teach their children and grandchildren about right and wrong, and make this state once again a place where we do the right thing, where people matter more than money. With the right leadership, we can make our upstate economy grow, in part with new and permanent jobs in clean, renewable energy industries, green chemistry, and sustainable agriculture. We can be an example to the nation that all of this can be accomplished while we provide the basic and life-sustaining resources and a good quality of life for all of our citizens now and for generations to come. Thank you.